Hello guys, it's your favorite Bangladeshi artist. If you clicked on this video, it's probably because you want to sell art. So the other day I was having a low-key mental breakdown because I didn't really know who to look up to or who to ask questions. And I couldn't really find YouTube videos on people that were like me. So this will be a video of everything that I've compiled over the past few years about my journey, and I will be your older sister that you can look at for advice or help with this. I know it's April 2021, but you don't need a New Year's resolution to get your shit together. It's April, but that means that you're just 4 months into the year. You still got 8 more months left of being successful. And then you got another year. So that's my daily sprinkle of motivation. Let's get into it. I just want to start out by saying I am not an expert with any of this. This is just my experience and what worked for me. So I hope that it works for you as well. I really liked Katie Yu's YouTube video on this. She formatted her video with providing advice and then her own experience and then questions she answered from Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, wherever. So I'm gonna be doing my own video in that similar fashion. I hope it helps with that little insight from my personal life. I got my little iPad here to help me. The first step in getting your art out there is not directly with selling, but you have to do commissions or something to build your audience. Doing commissions is a great way of getting your name out there. So this means word of mouth, you hitting up your family friends, your friends of friends, your grandparents, everyone, so they can commission you. This way you're building an audience because you obviously can't sell art to people that aren't even on your profile. You can't sell art to 0 followers. It's hard if you do. This way it gives you practice, it gives you experience. So when I first started, I was doing traditional paintings in the beginning, but then I switched over to doing jacket commissions, and this way I was getting 1 commission a month, and then I moved on to like 10 commissions a month. And that way people really got to know me, and it was word of mouth, and people started coming to my profile, and that was a great way to establish that bond. And also it established that trust between me and my audience. So if they were to buy anything from me in the future, they had that trust already with commissions and how well I was doing with other people. It's also a great way of saving up your commission money that you were getting and putting it to your business in the future. So all of the money that I was getting from my commissions, not only was I using it for my materials and paint for the future commissions, but I was also using it for my future website, my future investments in art and everything. So the second step in selling art is to make art prints at local shops. So the process of this is you bring a digital file of your art, you bring it to the shop, and you choose what size you want of the poster and a paper quality. So that way they make everything for you and you don't have to worry about it. So the pros of this is there's different varieties of paper and sizes, and it's less time and energy from the artist's end. But there are also a lot of cons to it. It's less control over producing it. For example, you can't see the quality of the art until after it's done. There's less profit and the longer turnaround time to produce it. Usually it's a week or 2 weeks. So the other option is to buy your own printer and invest everything into those supplies so you can print it from home. The pros of that is more bulk orders, it's much quicker, it gives you the freedom to experiment with different sizes, tones, paper, and there's more profit and you have more control as an artist. The cons, you have to do a bigger investment to get supplies, and it takes more time and energy to produce. But this is a great way to oversee your whole process of shipping and manufacturing, and it's really nice as an artist and small entrepreneur to see everything going on in your own store. My tip at this step is to not overinvest because you might have a really big loss at the end. Don't overinvest if you don't have a definite audience for it, because that can really put a dent in your wallet. There are a lot of advantages for dropshipping, which I'll talk about more in the later steps, but it can really help you have minimal risk. At this stage, it's okay to make mistakes. You're first starting out, so you're not expected to know everything. When I first started out, I made prints that were really overpriced, and I spent hundreds of dollars making prints, but I did not have a definite audience for it. So I did lose a lot of money at the end. And then I would ship them out in 99-cent envelopes from the dollar store. And I lost a lot of money because no one would buy it. I didn't have the audience for it. but that's how I learned, and this is how I'm giving advice to you now. Third step is to make an Etsy or another form of a marketplace so that you can sell your art. And Etsy is a great place to start because it puts you in a market with a lot of other artists and a lot of other small business owners, and a lot of people can search you up even if they don't know who you are yet. There are other sites like Redbubble and Artfire where you don't have to have inventory right away to sell because the shop usually sells it for you through the website. It's also very minimal risk. You don't have to splurge on inventory if you don't know if you're going to be successful. It's also a very great resort for people that don't know how to start yet. When I first started, I started with an Etsy, and I would sell my prints on there and then ship it from my house. And it was a great place for people to discover me, even people that didn't know me. The fourth step is to branch out and make more products. So once you get familiar with selling prints and doing all of that, it's usually good for your audience and for yourself to push yourself and come out with more products. So what I've seen, a lot of people like making bookmarks, stickers, pins, and a lot more. A lot of people use the websites called Sticker Mule, Sticker App, or even Zazzle to create their stickers, but you do have to be aware of the fact that these websites usually require you to bulk order a whole bunch of stickers because you can't just order one or two. So for this step, you also have to make sure they have an audience so you don't overbuy. This step is usually a lot more tedious because you have to put a lot more time and research into it, especially if you're designing, manufacturing, and shipping everything by yourself. So here on this step, a lot of people actually also buy a Cricut machine or other machines to create their own stickers or bookmarks. And this can also be a great step in moving into apparel and other merchandise because the Cricut machine really does help with all of the stencils. This is actually really sad, but once I did this step, after prints, I branched out into t-shirts and mugs, hoodies, tote bags. So this was another fail because I also did not have the audience for this. So I ended up having a lot more left over than I could sell. And that caused me to practice my artistry a little bit more. And then I went into dropshipping, which I talk about again later in the video. All right. Number 5, create your own website. So after you're getting a lot more traffic with your new products on your Etsy or whatever marketplace you're using, it's usually smart to create a new website. Obviously, this step is optional. A lot of people decide to stay with their Etsy because they find it more profitable or easier. So this is optional. In my opinion, a website that you created on your own using Shopify or Wix is usually a lot more professional. It means that you're on your own and people can search you up because they like your stuff rather than finding you on Etsy or whatever marketplace. It gives them the same shopping experience, like if they're shopping on Shein or Fashion Nova or Macy's. It gives them that professionalism and that connection. And also, the pros of having your own website is freaking great. You can customize your own page. You can add personalized coupons, announce drop date, contact and about me pages, and it also limits your competition with other people because it's just your stuff on that website rather than a whole bunch of other people's stuff around the same website. I actually created my own website through Shopify, and it took me a couple of weeks to actually get it down. I used a lot of my favorite artists' websites as reference for my own, which really helped because I pieced together what I wanted. In my opinion, it looks a lot more professional to have a .com after my brand name. It also allowed me to track my audience analytics, add coupon codes for existing customers, and have a personalized contact page and so much more. There's also a lot of websites like Fiverr that you can pay someone to create your website for you, but I decided to do it on my own. So if you guys want a video on that, let me know. Number 6, drop shipping for bulk orders. So I feel like a lot of people don't know about this, but I think it's really important for small business owners and people starting out. Dropshipping is where you ask a company to make everything, manufacture everything, and usually ship everything for you. And they usually get a cut of the price, and you are kind of like the middleman. So for example, if someone orders something from my website, it would go directly to that company. They would do everything from there and they would ship it. So I don't have to do anything from my end, but I would still get some of the money. So this is really beneficial for small business owners because there's a lot less risk and a lot less work. There's a lot of drop shipping websites like Printful, Printify, Upweek, they all help you with manufacturing and shipping. So some pros of these websites are there's 0 to no money spent on inventory and shipping supplies, so it minimizes risks for small business owners. Having more inventory and sizes, and there's more products. Some cons are less profit, product or shipping malfunctions are reported to you by customers and you have to reach back to third parties. Minimal personalization with shipping. So unlike Etsy or any other marketplace, you don't really have a say with how you personalize your packages, and it's a lot harder to get that connection with customers. But if you're a busy college student like me, or this is your side hustle and you don't have much time or money to get shipping supplies and other investments, this is probably the best idea for you just because it's less risk and it's more time efficient. This can help you save up and invest in a manufacturer that's more local and eventually start a business that's more from your house. So the 7th step is moving on to find your own manufacturers and shipping on your own. The end goal is obviously to have your own warehouse, your own space to ship out a whole bulk of orders every single day with all these people working for you. Usually this means moving on from dropshipping and investing in a whole bunch of products on your own. This step is actually still very this step is very unclear for me because I'm still doing the research for it, but it's important to research your manufacturers, local shops, their credentials and everything to find reliable people that can help you make these things on your own. On top of that, you can even research different machines where you can make prints on apparel by yourself or make your stickers by yourself or even move on to a lot more bigger products. So now we're in the question segment. We're gonna breeze through some questions. Okay, so the first question is, had you started this off as a passion project and it later became a business, or did you start it as a business? Well, I initially started my art page as just posting for fun. If you see my first post, it says specifically that this page is just to record my journey and to just have fun with different styles. And then I decided that I wanted to showcase my art to the world a little bit more, so I started selling prints. It was never with the intention of selling, but I also think it's really important to remember that when you start a business or an art business or anything, it's usually something that is your hobby and your passion, and it's important to hold that close to you because once money is involved, it's really hard to have that passion still there. So I would recommend to do things that are your niche, your style, your passion, and the right audience will follow. I don't think you should follow trends that you don't like. Don't follow things that you don't want to do just for the money. It's important to have a fair balance with trendy things, with also things that you love and genuinely care about, because money is important because you need to survive, but also it's important for your mental health that you do things that you love. I had a lot of difficulty in the beginning trying to navigate if I should do this to make this crowd of people that follow me happy, or if I should do this to make myself happy, and I didn't really know how to do both. But now I think I'm in that part of my journey where I'm doing things that I really like doing, and the right audience is like supporting me for it. The second question is, do you ship to Canada? Yes, I ship internationally. So someone from my program asked me, do you have to purchase boxes, shipping bags, and then take it to USPS or UPS? How does it work? So in the beginning when I started, I told you guys I used the 99-cent envelopes, but I don't think that's very good, especially if you're shipping internationally, because there can be a lot of damage. So I would recommend buying polymer bags from Amazon or any other websites like maybe Alibaba. You can buy a whole bulk for really cheap, and you can customize it with a color that you really like for your brand, and that way you can put your prints or products you have in that bag. You can get different sizes. So if you're selling prints, make sure that you have cardboard or a plastic bag to put the prints in so it doesn't bend or rip. For stickers, make sure you also have a plastic bag to seal it. If it's glass, make sure you have boxes. So these are things that you have to have before you start a business, but if you invest in it, it works out at the end. Someone asked, what app do you use to draw? Do you use a pencil or hand only? So as I said, I used to do traditional paintings with acrylic paint. I still do that sometimes, but now I moved on to iPad, my Procreate app with my Apple Pencil. Someone asked, show us your ways. Any tips on running a small business on how to promote? So honestly, it's really messed up, but Instagram and any other app has a really horrible algorithm where they kind of choose what they want to put out into the Explore page and everyone else's feeds. And I worked really, really hard to get where I was. It took about 2 years, and I'm obviously not at my full potential yet, but a lot of it is based on luck. And I know it's not what everyone wants to hear, but I got on the algorithm's good side. And it's hard because even now, if I work hours and hours on a piece, it's not being seen because algorithm isn't in my favor. So I guess when I did blow up, I posted a lot of TikToks and Reels on my Instagram. That's when my page was discovered by Nabella, Anik Khan, and so many other great influencers that I had been looking up to. But I think at the end of the day, it's really important to not lose sight of why you started, what you're doing, how much work you're putting into it. It's really hard, obviously, if you're not getting the audience, the feedback from people. It's discouraging. A really nice story that my boyfriend told me about, and I actually watched the documentary after he told me about it, is about Nipsey Hussle, who started selling drugs, and he decided that he didn't want to do that anymore. So he opened up a shop with his brother, I believe, and started selling t-shirts. He invested all of his money into that. And then the cops raided that store and he got arrested, and that t-shirt store got taken away from him. So then once he got out, he had to start from square one. He started selling t-shirts again on the street with his brother, and he opened the same shop again with the t-shirts. And he got raided again with the cops, and he went to jail again. And then once he came out, he did the same thing again, and this time it finally stuck. And he was a freaking legend. And I think that story really stuck with me just because it demonstrates his patience, his hard work, his resilience, and just so much more admirable traits that he's had. And I think it's really important for all of us to remember that success does not come easy, and you have to really, really want it. You have to push for it. You have to be patient with it, and it's not gonna come overnight. I do blame a lot of my success on luck just because Instagram liked me one day, but I know truly just how much I've worked for it, and I knew in my heart that it was gonna happen regardless. So I think that if you have that mentality within you, it's gonna happen. You're gonna blow up, you're gonna be really successful. So just keep doing what you love. All right guys, I hope you liked my video. I hope you can use some of these resources and tips to start your own company. I know that we are always looking for new art to buy, new things to buy from small businesses. And I know you guys have been asking me this for months, so I hope I delivered. Let me know what else you guys want to see. I have so many more art ideas to film. I'm excited. Follow me on all my socials. It's Labyrinth Av on all my socials, and labyrinthav.com for my merch and products and apparel. Spoil your friends, your family, your third family, like whatever. Spoil everyone. I hope you guys liked it. Come back for more.